7 stars that have developed a telltale heat radiation. Is this the breakthrough in the search for extraterrestrial life? Researchers using infrared telescopes have observed an unexplained infrared radiation and claim that it could be evidence of an extraterrestrial megastructure, a Dyson sphere. If this turns out to be true, it would completely turn our entire knowledge of the cosmos on its head. So if you want to experience a crisis of meaning with me, stay tuned to the end to find out if we really have found Dyson spheres. Welcome, friends. Imagine if we could place the largest solar panels on Earth in orbit around our sun and capture all the energy emitted by the sun and use it for our society. What advantages that would have? We would have access to infinite amounts of energy. And the idea is not so far-fetched. It is a so-called Dyson sphere, a megastructural construct that has so far been very hypothetical, in which satellites or other structures are arranged around a star in order to tap into its energy. Just like the Dyson vacuum cleaner in your junk room, you can compare it. Except that the Dyson vacuum cleaner sucks away your pizza crumbs and a Dyson sphere sucks in the energy of a star. Well, you're used to such accurate physical comparisons from me. Maybe one of you has read the book Paradox by Philip Peterson. Write me in the comments if you know his books. Anyway, Peterson has taken up the hypothesis of Dyson spheres in his book. The idea is that aliens have deployed nanorobots throughout the galaxy which have been building huge spheres around all the stars for millions of years, thus separating them from each other. So that people don't get suspicious when stars suddenly disappear night after night, the aliens have also built a Dyson sphere around the solar system with a lifelike projection of the starry sky so that we remain in the dark, and so that the aliens can surround all the stars in the Milky Way with Dyson spheres undisturbed in order to have an infinite amount of energy available for their highly developed civilization. And by the way, feel free to write me in the comments what your favorite sci-fi movie or book is. I need tips, people. What sounds like absolute science fiction in the book Paradox may not be so far-fetched after all. At least that's what new data presented by an international group of researchers from Sweden, India, the UK, and the USA now suggests. They say that infrared telescopes have found evidence of Dyson spheres. That would be absolutely awesome. Imagine if we were really able to observe advanced alien civilizations building a Dyson sphere. Not only would that be a good proof of concept to present to politicians for a green energy transition, no, it would also absolutely shake up our understanding of our existence. We would no longer be the only ones in the cosmos, although I don't think so anyway. Let me know in the comments, is there intelligent life in space? Or are we alone in the cosmos? With billions of galaxies, with billions of stars, that seems unlikely to me. That would be really scary. What do you think? On Earth, that might be desirable, and in certain situations you could do without your neighbors, but in the vastness of the universe, I can't imagine it. But I'm drifting off again. In any case, the researchers have launched the Hephaestus project and scanned the infrared data from the 2-micron all-sky survey and the Gaia and Wide-Field Infrared Survey Explorer telescopes using a computer program. The results really give you goosebumps. A whopping 5 million stars were in focus, and a whole 7 of them, located only around 1,000 light years away, behave somehow strangely in terms of their radiation. The results have now been published in a new study in the journal Monthly Notices of the Royal Astronomical Society. This may not sound like much in comparison, but imagine we found 7 stars in one go where aliens are busy building houses, Dyson spheres. But before we take a closer look at the study and see whether such Dyson spheres can also be built around our sun, let's first clarify what a Dyson sphere actually is in detail, and you better forget the comparison with the vacuum cleaner that we just made, because now it's time to get scientific. The concept of a Dyson sphere was introduced by British physicist and mathematician Freeman Dyson in 1960. Dyson envisioned a hypothetical structure surrounding a sun to capture all the energy radiated from that star and harness it for an advanced civilization's ever-increasing energy needs. By the way, we are even below type 1 on the scale, as we have not even understood how to efficiently utilize all of our planet's energy resources. And that's despite the fact that we already decorate our houses with small solar power plants, but there is still a lot of room for improvement, and the road to the Dyson sphere is still a long one. You can imagine it as a kind of swarm of satellites, space stations, solar plants, or similar, orbiting around a star and absorbing its energy. This energy could then be transported to the planet via wireless transmission. The main benefit of a Dyson sphere is the enormous amount of energy it would provide. This would revolutionize the technical and social possibilities of a civilization by providing almost unlimited energy. Energy-intensive industries could be massively expanded without worrying about energy costs and environmental pollution. Global problems such as climate change and pollution would then be a thing of the past. The energy could be used to enable interstellar space travel and to colonize other planets and star systems. Unlimited energy would expand access to advanced technologies and research, leading to further scientific breakthroughs.
So what are we waiting for? Let's build a Dyson sphere!
Unfortunately, there are still no Dyson sphere kits for sale on Amazon, even though this would be a real gap in the market. This is probably because it is extremely difficult to construct a Dyson sphere around the sun, and this idea is far beyond our current capabilities, but you can still think about it and have a look at one or two tutorials. For example, we could place satellites and solar panels in orbit around our sun, or build a solid continuous shell around the star. To do this, we would need a lot of material that we can obtain by mining asteroids in the asteroid belt or moons from the solar system. The construction of the star itself would then be carried out by automated space factories. 3D printers could print the modules directly in space, which would automatically assemble themselves into large structures using artificial intelligence. Sophisticated computers would carry out orbital calculations, and robots would then place components and the solar collectors around the sun at the perfect distance and set up systems for wireless energy transmission. All in all, a project of unimaginable scale that requires international cooperation, enormous resources, and many technologies in 3D printing or interplanetary mining that we do not have for a long time yet. And probably won't have for a long time, not to mention the costs, which would be almost as high as some political projects, and I don't think anyone in the government will be putting up a few euros for such a project anytime soon. But I find the idea fascinating. Imagine the progress that would be made in space travel, materials science, or robotics if the financial aspects were completely irrelevant. The new job profiles that would emerge are also absolutely exciting. If YouTube doesn't work out at some point, then I'll just become an asteroid miner or a janitor on the Dyson sphere. So you see, we still have a lot of technical development to go through before we can even begin to build a Dyson sphere. As other civilizations in the Milky Way may already be doing, let me know in the comments. If you think we'll be able to do it one day, I'd be interested to know what you think. But back to Mr. Dyson again. He pointed out at the time that not only radio signals could be important in the search for extraterrestrials, but also the infrared radiation, or the strong thermal radiation that would emanate from such megastructures, because these structures heat up enormously around the star. So that's exactly what the scientists did. They assumed that the focus should not only be on fully built Dyson spheres that absorb all the starlight, but on semi-finished constructs, a bit like the one or other large construction site, which will certainly also soon crack the million-year mark. In any case, the researchers say that it is of great relevance to be able to distinguish the radiation from other natural radiation sources. After all, nebulae or dust disks could also emit suspicious radiation. The researchers say a dedicated pipeline has been developed to identify potential Dyson sphere candidates with a focus on detecting sources that exhibit an anomalous infrared excess that cannot be attributed to any known natural source of this radiation. With this narrowing down, we ended up with 7 stars, none of which have an obvious natural source of infrared radiation. So what is this telltale radiation all about? Could they really be Dyson spheres? Of course, this is far from proof, but it is also strange that the stars are all red dwarfs. So instead of Snow White, we now have Dyson and the 7 red dwarfs. I would watch this as a Disney movie in a heartbeat. Dust disks, which could be the most obvious explanation for the strange behavior of the stars, are generally not found around these types of stars, or only rarely, so we have some really curious data, but we are still in the dark when it comes to analyzing it in detail. More research is needed to uncover the source of the mysterious infrared radiation. The researchers say that the next step will be to carry out further observations with more powerful instruments such as the James Webb Space Telescope to obtain accurate measurements and look for further signs of intelligent alien species in this system. And although the researchers can't be sure that there really are Dyson spheres there, I think it's remarkable that we really have 7 candidates for star systems where we can actually look for extraterrestrial civilizations. Let me know what you think in the comments. How would you interpret the data? Have we really discovered Dyson spheres, or can you think of another explanation for the ominous 7 red dwarfs? As soon as there is something new, I will of course let you know immediately. So please subscribe to my channel. Another star is keeping scientists on their toes. A white dwarf is heading for a supernova, and some believe it is possible that this supernova, when its energy reaches us, could fry the Earth's atmosphere and destroy life on our beautiful planet. You can find out all about this supernova in our galactic neighborhood and what it will look like from Earth in the video below. Be sure to check it out. And if you want to support me, you are welcome to visit the Astro Shop. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next video. Take care, friends.